Hello, YouTube family. Welcome back to Phase Lock Life. On my channel, I talk about locks, wellness, and I throw in some entertainment here and there. Well, I wanted to welcome anyone who is new to my channel. Thanks for clicking on this video to come check me out. And for all of my lock styles that are returning, thank you so much. You know, I truly love you guys. I've missed you guys. I know I have wanted to be making I've been wanting to put out a video sooner, but business has been picking up, guys. I don't know. It's like word of mouth is going out, and I guess that's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. I have been picking up more clients, but I have been busy, and I have been tired. I work part-time as well, so I was trying to just kind of balance everything out. But I definitely wanted to get back to you guys because I actually really miss being here, giving you guys some information. So this video is no different. In this video, we are going to be talking about what if you get a client or potential client that comes to you and asks for a retightening, but guess what, guys? When you finally get them in, well, my rule of thumb is what I do is if it's a person that I don't know, totally new, I have no idea what their hair looks like or what condition is in, I always tell them they have to do a consultation with me. So I'll go ahead and schedule a consultation before I commit to anything, retightening, installation, whatever it is. I have to get that consultation done and check that hair out, right? So I just recently, and this just happened to me literally the day before yesterday, and it was just so weird how I even got the client. I was selling some items on the Facebook Marketplace to her sister. I didn't know it was her sister, but to her sister. And then when I got out the car and she saw my hair, she was like, "Oh my God, my sister, who does your hair? Da 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 da." But through that interaction, I was able to meet her sister, and now she is going to be one of my clients. But this is what happened. When I had the consultation with her and looked through her hair, I realized that she was 5 months off of her retightening. And not only was she 5 months off of her retightening, she had a lot of buildup in her locks. So some people might want to run away from that. She actually wanted to herself. She was on the verge literally the next week. Next week she had planned an appointment to cut them off, guys, right? She had planned to cut the locks off. And I'm really glad that I caught her in enough time before she did that, because her locks definitely was salvageable. And the thing is that some people might ask, why would you wait 5 months to get your locks done? And of course, I asked her that question. But guess what, guys? Life happens sometimes. There's different things that's going on in people's families. These locticians, especially if you live in an area where there's not a lot of locticians around, you will be surprised that if you miss just one appointment, how that can throw you a month or two back, especially when it's just like they're inundated with clients. So sometimes things like this happens, and for hairdressers like us, we are going to come across people like this as well. So you're going to have to prepare for that and make a plan to deal with people like that come to you. So you can either do a few things. You could either turn it away because it is work and you may not want to deal with that work that's required to get that person back together. You're going to charge them the money that it takes to get all that back together, because a lot of times in the event that happens, sometimes is the locks may not be consistent. There may be some repairs that may need to be done if they've waited that long. Or you can just go ahead and come up with a plan to deal with it. But of course, at the end of the day, they're still going to have to pay you for your time. Side note, sidebar, guys, I wanted y'all to excuse me. I have a braid out going on. I've been actually just rocking these braids for like about 3 days because I plan to do a braid out tomorrow. And coincidentally, it's been like, I'm just like, been like, easy does it because I've been so busy. So I've just been, so excuse the braids, guys. I'm in braid out mode. So anyways, I decided to take on the challenge. I love actually what I do. I love doing hair. So I decided that I would take this challenge on and decide what we were going to do to get her situated and get her straight. Now, this was just like really a spur of the moment. So, but this also let me know that, you know what, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, because there were certain things that I literally had to go out and buy in order to address the situation that she was in. So the first thing I decided to do with her was I was going to give her an ACV cleanse for her locks. She needed to have that apple cider vinegar, baking soda, and lemon cleanse for her hair, because I really needed to go ahead and get a lot of that buildup out of her locks because she has so much buildup in her locks. So what I did was I ended up, these are some of the things I went out and bought. I went out and got the apple cider vinegar with the mother. I probably didn't even have to actually use the one with the mother, because this really is a one that's a little bit more expensive, but she ended up getting the good stuff. I could have just actually just got apple cider vinegar, because that would have worked. That would have worked just as well. This is really good when you're trying to do that apple cider vinegar and lemon, like for belly burn and stuff like that. This is actually the one you want to get for something like that, and that's a whole totally different thing with the mother if you want to get rid of some belly fat, guys. Okay, so then I ended up getting the baking soda, as well as using fresh lemons, but you could use like the lemon juice that you buy too. That'll work too. But that's what I use. I ended up having my measuring cup. And then I had a small, I ended up, because I really, now that I have locks, I don't really have a lot of combs on hand, and I'm going to have to go and start getting like some rat tail combs or whatever. But the only reason why I use this is because it had the fine, tooth comb at the end, and it helped me to kind of break up that residue that was up in her locks a little bit. So I wanted to be able to release that, so before I soaked her head, it'll be able to get to it instead of it just being so matted down. So I would actually suggest that you use a rat tail comb, and a good one, not like the one from the dollar store or whatever. Like, you want to get one that maybe costs maybe like $3 a full, like one of them really good strong ones, because that buildup is pretty deeply embedded up in them locks when it goes that long. So you want something that is not going to actually break the comb. This one was pretty thin, but fortunately it didn't break or anything like that. But I would suggest that you get one of them fine tooth combs or a rat tail comb, and loosen up that lock first. I ended up using about a half a cup or a little more than a half a cup of baking soda powder. I ended up using 3 cups of apple cider vinegar. And then I used I ended up using 2 lemons. I just squeezed it. And then I used my sink. I have a pretty deep sink here. I filled it up maybe halfway with water. Poured those things in there, the baking soda, the apple cider vinegar, the lemon juice, and then I just took like a nice big bowl and then was just like rinsing it throughout her hair, rinsing it. Usually you want to soak it, because actually the locks really need to soak for about a good 15 minutes to really just allow all that stuff to come up out of there. But unfortunately, we're not in a salon. I'm at home, so I wasn't able to lean her back, and her locks wasn't really long. So I had to kind of do the work to help with that. And then after we went through that for a while, I still just leaned her over there for about a good 10 to 15 minutes, because we really had to really start breaking that residue down. And then I went in with this shampoo. This is the tea tree shampoo. It cleans and purifies, but it was able to help lift residue. It was kind of, this is I like this shampoo, but I actually really wanted to get the Neutrogena clarifying shampoo. It's a clear shampoo that Neutrogena has. It's about like $12.99. But I'm telling you, if you ever want your locks cleansed, I mean, to lift up stuff, that Neutrogena will do the job. I was looking for that, but I could not find it. They were out at the store I was at, so unfortunately, I could not get that one. I will be ordering that from online because that's one that I really and truly, for her hair, it would have been the best shampoo to use because of the buildup that was in hers. But this is something that I could probably use, or someone else that don't have like much buildup in their hair. This actually would be a pretty amazing shampoo to use for that. So that was the first thing we did. We got her situated there. We were able to get a lot of the residue to build up out of her locks. But like I said, because she had over 5 months worth, and it could have been longer, because she also said that she never covers her hair. So I'm sure that, not assuming, but I'm sure that that has a lot to do with the fact that she has so much buildup. So we talked about that. So, I got into her little behind over not covering her hair. So I made sure, like, before she left, that she ordered, or she was going to the store to get her bonnets for her hair so that she can stop all of that. I put her on the schedule for every 2 weeks. She's going to come and have me wash her hair. So I'm going to work with that to continue to get that buildup out, because even though we got a lot out, there still was some that was clearly showing in her hair, but it looked a whole lot better than what it was. And then after that, we got to work on her retightening. Now, if you're dealing with someone who has 5 months worth of retightening, it's going to be a long process. The only thing that I'm just like, I wish that I would have done was to do some before and after pics, because I would have loved for you guys to see what her hair looked like and what it looked like when I finished her hair. I mean, it was a total difference. She was so happy that she had tears in her eyes. She was so happy about her hair when it was finally done. I'm telling you, she said her family and everybody had been picking on her for not having her hair done and all that kind of stuff. But any old ways, I started with her at 10 in the morning. We had like a break maybe around 12:30 or so for maybe about 45 minutes. We both had to take care of some business real quick, and then I got back to it, and then we ended up finishing around like 8:39. So that was a good amount of time, but also she understood what the cost was going to be, because between the consultation, me getting her in there, really, having to purchase some products, getting that cleanse done, and then retightening 5 months worth of hair, that's like 2.5 retightens gone by. So, you can actually make some decent money. So I ended up, making about $350 that day, guys. You see what I'm saying? So if it's worth, you have to decide if it's worth your time. If you want to deal with something like that or not, you can pass it along. But if you love doing hair like I do, and I do like a challenge, that was something that, I was actually up for the challenge of that, but I was actually able to make some good money in the process, guys. So, she got what she wanted, I got what I wanted, and also we both it was just kind of a therapeutic thing. It's like therapeutic for me when I actually do people's hair, so I'm okay with that, guys. So the last thing that we decided to do, because she doesn't like the fact that the lint shows up on her locks, we are going to do a 2-step henna process, the one in which I do for my hair. So I'm going to order henna. We're going to henna her hair, and then after I do that process, we're going to go to indigo and turn it black, so that will cover up. That's another little trick, guys, that you can use if you do come across someone, or if you yourself have a whole bunch of build up into your locks, you can go ahead and do this process. The best way to do it is if you can soak your locks. I ended up purchasing a inflatable sink. Like I said, if you don't have, if you're not able to go to a salon and get this done, or know someone or somewhere with a chair that can lean you back in their sink, they have inflatable sinks. So I just purchased that because she's going to be coming every 2 weeks for me to wash her hair. So it was worth me purchasing an inflatable sink. That way I can really get her in there and immerse her locks. But we are going to go ahead and do the henna process because she's young and she still likes her hair to look really nice and fresh. So we're going to go ahead and color that. But before you do that, guys, even if you get to the point where you decide to do the two-step henna process, make sure you tell the person you're dealing with that once you go black, it's a lot to go back. You know what I'm saying? So you can always go from light to dark, but it's harder to go from dark to light. Most times if you decide, because she was saying something about, well, I want to go ahead and color my hair lighter after a while. So I explained to her the risks of going so dark and then trying to go light, because that a lot of times require that you use a process of lifting that dark color off your hair with bleach, which can be damaging and all that type of stuff. She's around maybe, I think she's almost 2 years in, so I told her stay away from chemicals right now. The henna that we're doing is natural, all natural powder, and so we're not putting chemicals on her hair. I will be able to do that. She's locked pretty good. Most of her ends are locked, so it's not really too soon because she's almost 2 years, but I'll also be monitoring that, so she's going to be just fine. So yeah, so she was a happy camper, and I was really happy because that also gives me joy when I'm able to make someone happy, after fixing their hair and stuff like that. So that is the plan for her. And I just wanted to come to you guys with that quick video because I haven't been able to, get in here and do what I want to do. I'm actually getting ready to bring you guys, speaking of color, I plan to bring you guys a video on that this week. Maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm going to try to get that one up to you because I do want to talk about that as well, coloring your locks when people are able to color them, the pros and cons of that and all of that. So that'll be in next week's video. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much it on that. I hope that was useful to you guys. If you're in that situation or you know anyone in that situation, or for those of you who do hair like me, if you may come across a client like this, these are some of the things that you can do to remedy that situation. But before we go out of here, Lock Stars, I want to mention two commenters. These are going to be my commenters of the day. I wanted to start implementing that and kind of either answering some questions if you have any questions, or just kind of addressing what you said. And these two ladies left comments that I just saw before I actually did this video, and I actually just want to respond to them, okay? So I'm going to pick two at the end of my videos. And so guys, that's why I encourage you to leave comments. If you have any questions or anything, just leave them, and then I'm going to try to address at least one or two comments, guys, okay? So the first one is going to go to Free Love 74. So I did see your comment, Free Love 74. Thank you so much for leaving your comment. I hope you're one of my rock stars. If you're not, I hope you decide to be one, okay? Well, anyways, I wanted to just let you know that I understand every single thing you said, what you talked about, and it's really, really true. And it is really extremely important when you talk about the different hair textures, and you mentioned how you feel like locticians should be educated on dealing with looser curl patterns of hair, and you actually was able to connect with what I was saying because of the fact of, when we're talking about them going with the speed and all this kind of stuff, ripping out like your hair. You can literally hear it at times and all of that kind of correlation between having a looser curl pattern, them going fast and thinning over time. There is a serious correlation with that. You have to understand, I really wish that the Sister Locks company, and like I said, I want to just do a disclaimer, I have nothing against them. I still love Sister Locks, all of that. I'll continue to say that I do love them, but that doesn't mean just because it's a good product that there isn't things that needs to be fixed. Because every hair texture is different. So it really does. You do have to deal differently with certain hair textures. I have said all along that I do not feel like those Sister Lock tools are meant for speed like that. For one, they're too big. You're dealing with small locks opposed to big tools. You can't just go in and out, and just the design of them as it is will it just won't allow for your hair not to be damaged if you're going at a fast rate of speed. And especially if you're dealing with people with fine hair, it's just not going to work. And over time, this commenter was saying how she eventually, as her locks got longer, it got heavier, which caused the base to thin more and more as it is. That happened to me over time, especially with me having the thin hair that I have. Like, I clearly, literally knew what my hair looked like prior to this, and 6 years later can see the clear difference. It's a thing, and they need to address it. And what I noticed what they're doing is they're actually, allowing for there to be bigger positions that you can hold, like ambassador of this and this and of this, if you meet this requirement. But all of those things just add more money for the company. They allow you to make more money if you become these ambassadors and all this and all that. But what about all the stuff that needs to be fixed? Like more education, more education for the locticians to understand these different hair textures and learn how to deal with them. Most people want to get in, get out. That requires speed. But it still is a contradiction because you can't do it for all hair. You can't do it for all hair. All hair textures can't take it when you're going in with that speed real fast. So that's very contradictory. And I think a lot of people have to get off of that thing thinking that they can get in and by 3 hours or 4 hours, they should be done with their Sister Lock retightening. If you have hair that can take that, then that's all good and fine if your hair is strong enough to deal with that. But if you have people with looser, finer hair, their hair can't deal with that. So you are going to have to take, the loctician will have to gauge that with each individual. Whereas a lot of times they're just saying, oh, I can get you out in 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, usually my retightens, and that's for everyone across the board, but that's actually not right because everybody's hair is different. And you know what? Unfortunately, people will have to pay for that. So that's really unfortunate with that. So I hear you very clear on that. Free love 74, and thank you so much for your comment. Okay, so the last comment I have is from Lorraine J, and Lorraine J was talking about she's 2 years in on her lock journey. Congratulations, Lorraine, for being 2 years in on your lock journey. But she's still kind of not believing that her hair is going to just grow longer than it has ever been before. And like I said, Lorraine, I want you to believe it. And as I left in that comment, we have been told so long, we've been conditioned so long to believe that our hair can't grow like that, to believe all sorts of things about our hair, and it's literally just not true. I am here to tell you, and you can see that on Sister Lock websites and from any other person around you that have long locks. They started off somewhere, and if you go through my videos, you can clearly see how short mine was and how far they have gotten thus far 6 years later. So I want you to hang in there, Lorraine J. You got it. It's going to happen for you. They're going to be amazing. But also just keep in mind with all the other stuff that I said, I've been very clear about my feelings on the Sister Lock tools and all of those things to continue to cultivate this style. To each his own. Like I said, is, do whatever you feel is right for you. I'm just stating my personal opinion, how I feel about certain things. Like I said, I have nothing against the Sister Lock brand. I do still appreciate the owner for, actually creating this style and sharing it with us as a culture and everything like that. So, that's all I really have to say about that. So, okay, guys. Thank you for always lighting up the space. Like I said, y'all keep it lit over here. I am going to get to doing a live. I'm going to try to put that out and get a date for you guys so that I can be able to meet all my lock stars and see where you guys are from. I want to see where all you guys are coming from, okay? Get to kind of know you all a little bit more personally. I think that'll be really cool. I'm really looking forward to that. But okay, so until next time, as always, sharing is caring, guys, and take care. Love you guys.